Hey, what's up everybody? John Kirkpatrick here, going to show you how to make a basic drum track in Guitar Pro 5. Before we get started, I kind of want to just talk about what this video series is going to be about. And yeah, so I'm just going to make an entire series on how to use the drum track in Guitar Pro 5, everything there is to know about it, how to make beats, fills. I'm even going to go over some rhythm lessons if you don't know how to read yet. Basically, my aim by the end of this series is that anybody can just pick up this program and write any kind of drum beat they're thinking of in their head. And that is a really, really powerful tool, especially for you guys out there who don't play drums. Writing drums, I think, is probably a lot easier than most of you guys might think it is in general, and that applies to any genre. Not to mention that any of the drum tracks that you write in this program, you can export MIDI and import to most any program that you would ever record with. Put on Easy Drummer, Superior Drummer, and get the exact, real life drums you're looking for. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. You'll notice that your first track, or this should be your window when you first open it, and the track is going to be a steel string guitar. Obviously, since we're doing drums, we're going to go ahead and make a drum track. So if we click on Track, go down to Add, go ahead and click on Percussion, go ahead and make it the first, and you'll notice it allows for standard notation and tablature. Just go ahead and click OK, and there's our track. So, one might be asking themselves, well, how do you put in a drum, essentially? If you read drum music, this is going to be really easy for you because it's pretty similar. I mean, as you can imagine, drum music is really just a bunch of symbols. So how do we put those symbols into a computer? Well, you type in a number for each symbol. It's really, really basic. So say we wanted a hi-hat. Normally we would just pencil in an X up here on the staff, but computer language, it's just going to be a 42, and bang, puts in the X for you, and everything, voila. You'll notice that it starts it off as a quarter note, so we're going to go ahead and change that to an eighth note for now, and then you'll notice when I go to the right, when I click the right arrow key, it'll make the next note an eighth note as well, which is really convenient when you're, putting in a bunch of 16th notes or triplets or something like that, because it'll stay consistent instead of having me go, back and forth making all that stuff. So, yeah. Alrighty, so next thing we're going to do is go ahead and put our bass drum and snare drum, and bass drum is going to be 36. We're going to go ahead and put that guy on 1 on 3, snare drum on 2 and 4. Also, by the way, it doesn't really matter where I'm clicking here. I can put the snare drum on the bottom, I can put the snare drum on the top. I am a drum teacher, so I teach how to read and write drums, so I'm just kind of used to having those guys in those positions, but you'll notice, a lot of times when I'm writing something or one of my buddies is writing something, those numbers can be all jumbled up. So for the most part, you try and keep cymbals up top, bass drum on low, and toms and snares somewhere in the middle. But, all that's pretty questionable at the end of the day, so no worries. Yeah, and you'll notice when I've got this basic beat done, I can go ahead and hit spacebar and it'll play it back for me. That is a really, really, really powerful tool in this day and age, and I think it's really, really going to change the face of musicians up and coming. When you've got a practice tool where you can just write in something like that and play along to it, I mean, the improvement I see in students that I've taught using this program is just phenomenal. They will learn at a much, much faster rate, and it's simply because, hearing it as you play with it, you'll notice your ear, you'll try and tend to correct to the way you're hearing it rather than just hearing a metronome and, reading and playing along to what you're doing. You're kind of, a lot of times after a lesson, I notice kids end up kind of guessing, whether they're playing the rhythm right or not, but when you have it right in front of your face and you even have it cursor, following where the beat's at, I mean, it's really, really, really laid out way to show somebody how to read and write music. So yeah, that's what it's going to be for the first video, just, basic drum track right there, and next time I'll get into more of the complex beats, and I'll actually probably do a lesson on rhythm first, just so that we can all be caught up in that. It's pretty basic. I think most people get the hang of it pretty quick, so yeah, stay tuned for that next video. Should be coming up